All right, guys, welcome back, and I apologize if there's wind noise. It's a little windy today. Today was the day I was going to start putting down my pre-emerge, and as you can hear, I'm pretty sure that showed up pretty well. It's a lot windier today than they said it was going to be. 5 to 10 mile an hour winds. It was supposed to be calm, so I'm going to wait a little bit. Maybe this evening when it starts. When the sun starts going down, and I'm just looking here as far as what weeds are here, and like I say, it's a lot of these purple flowers, which that should be Roundup should take care of them, but this is going to be corn, of course. It was beans last year, and I'm just looking, and this weed problem isn't very I'll put it this way, it is nowhere near what it was last year. Nowhere near. Last year when I had taken over here, it was rough. It was thick with mare's tail and all kinds of nasty weeds that Roundup doesn't do anything with. And I kind of put my spray program together last year, flying by the seat of my pants. I didn't put anything down in the fall, which I wanted to. I just ran out of time. But, you know, just looking at this, I think we're going to be okay. I don't see any mare's tail at all. And this is about when you start to see it. This is the time of year when it's poking through. Now, just to make sure, see what our corn ground looks like. This will be beans. Now there's a little more in the corn, a little more weeds. You can see it's a little greener. But just on first inspection here, going up the rows, I don't see any mare's tail. Maybe, is this? No, that's not mare's tail. Close. So we'll see. I may cut the rates on my pre-emerge and come back with a full rate in post. I don't know yet. Or go full rate on pre and come back post with a little less. Out through there you can see there's a real weedy spot next to those trees. That always was weedy, and I don't know why, if it's like a wetter spot in the field. This waterway, actually, I was looking at the waterway project last night, and what I was seeing was it was almost 800 feet long. I'm going to say 800 feet is a rough estimate, and it's actually supposed to extend up into the corner of that field up there. I don't know. The contractor was supposed to be here in the end of last week, and he never called. The line was supposed to be here. They never called. My nitrogen was supposed to be here, and he never showed up. So I'm getting a little frustrated. I may do a rant video. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's a busy time of year, but I ordered this stuff back in the winter so I wouldn't have to wait so long, but it is what it is. Alright guys, if we start spraying today, I will definitely bring the camera along. But just on first inspection here, I think we're going to be okay. I think we did everything pretty good last year. I know I had a lot of weeds at the last minute there in the late summer, but ooh, it is way too windy to spray. And now the quarter-mile walk back to my pickup. All right, guys, I'll keep you posted. And yeah, we're down in this weedier spot here, and this here is just, I don't know, it's poor ground for one. For two, we're under the trees. For three, it's a little wetter, so you're gonna have a little more moisture, but we really had a lot of rain so far this year. We had a heck of a lot. We're not dry. Even though the surface is dry, we had high winds and heat yesterday, high winds and heat today. It looks dry, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's wet. The soil's wet underneath. I'm just looking, yep, we got a little bit of mare's tail here. Okay, so want to slow down a gear and coat this here. This is just poor ground. And I was hoping the lime and the fertilizer would have been on. Still waiting. So one more spot I want to check. I'm hoping one spray tank will do this hole. Basically that goes down over there and wraps all the way up. It's one of the biggest, not quite the biggest acreages here altogether, but it's second. So, all right, let me keep looking. All right, so this is probably the biggest field that I have altogether, acreage-wise. And like I say, I apologize for the wind. I don't know how this is gonna sound. I'll talk a little louder. It's a little poorer ground right here to start, and then there's like a dip there that always used to wash out. And like I say, the waterway is gonna be basically going from up there all the way. It's gonna be a run right where that ditch is. There's a ditch in there, all the way down to that first tree on that side, and then it's gonna make a turn and go all the way down in the woods. So it's basically gonna cut this nice big acreage in half here, but it's not really terrible. I think with the no-till we're gonna have it under control here in about 2-3 years, that it's not gonna wash it all. What are you gonna do? This project wasn't started by me, but and they want it finished, so I just hope it's not going to be a mess here. I really do. So yeah, this acreage, it goes out along this tree line, goes out a fair amount, and that's where that real steep drop off is. It goes down to that tree line, and then down at that tree line it goes back, and it's the weirdest shaped field, and then all the way over to where the hay fields are down there. So it takes more than, I have to refill the sprayer before I can cover all this. I usually do just this side and then come back later and do that side, but the waterway will make it nice for that. I'll basically, instead of having one field here, have two smaller fields, which I didn't really want. But yeah, there's some mare's tail coming here. This is where the soybeans are going to be, and they're still very short, but I'll tell you, it does not take long for mare's tail and the kind of weather we're having today till it gets out of control. I don't want it any higher than 6 inches. So as soon as the wind dies down here, I'm gonna try to at least get the corn ground done, maybe tonight. I don't know if I'll get it done tonight, but we'll see. All right. And of course, with the high winds we had, it looks like we have a piece of that aluminum roofing that's ripped off on the shed. This is the first time I've been up here in a while. You guys probably know already, I do not like aluminum for roofs. I'd agree with you and say, yeah, they never rust, they never rot out, but as a roofing material, there's probably 500 nails per sheet on that roof that it's been re-nailed on so many times, and there's that much silicone. Let me zoom back out here. There's probably that much silicone sealant and nails in that roof to hold that roof on, being kind of up here on top with all the wind. I do like aluminum, but just for sides of buildings. The sides it's great because you can run your sheets right down to the ground and have very little rust or corrosion. As a roofing material, it expands and contracts way too much. You have to use the aluminum hardware to fasten it down, and what happens with the aluminum hardware is it gets like brittle. I find it gets brittle. There's how many heads popped off of those nails that they use. The other thing is aluminum screws. Oh my gosh, they cost a fortune to try to find aluminum screws to screw them down with the washers. And the other thing with the aluminum screws is putting them in, you tend to break them off. I don't know, all these aluminum roofs, I'd love to put tin steel roofing on, and just get rid of this aluminum. And there's that many holes and punctures in it from re-nailing it fast all these years that the 2x4s underneath that hold it are pretty well shot. So it's the same with my shop down there. That should get taken off and basically new 2x4s put on, because most of the 2x4s, especially in that shed's older than my shop, and in that shed those 2x4s are in that bad a shape you just have to put all new ones on and a new tin roof. But I don't know, I think that shed goes back to the 50s or before, but it's just one of them things, I guess.